2 seasons, but the third season's just as great as the first 2.
I can't put one above the other. It is a fun show to watch. I can't get enough of it when it's on.
And the actor that Josh forgot to talk about on the fall, or didn't
Jamie
recall.
Dornan.
Jamie Dornan. Yeah,
he's 50 Shades. And
he's been in a lot of stuff recently.
I'm sad I know that he's on 50 Shades.
Yeah.
It's only by looking it up on Google that I realized he was on 50 Shades. And a matter of fact, it was your wife. It was your wife that told me I should read those series because
she loved those books.
Oh, she did, and she gave me. I borrowed all of hers.
That's right, you did borrow.
During the summer job there.
Yeah.
Of one of the 41, she talked me into it. She's like, "Yeah, Daddy, you want?" I go, "Fine, I will read them all." And so I read them all and then watched the movies. The movies sucked.
Oh, I know. Compared to the book, my wife said the book was outstanding.
Well,
you didn't. Well,
I would have to. I would not go by outstanding.
I'm going for a woman's perspective, so I don't know.
You might need to do
another E, no X, no X here at the 41 Jobs podcast.
I would have to go with it. It was okay writing.
Yeah.
She repeated herself a lot. She could not come. She could not find. She could not find.
What will the safe word be this week? No,
she couldn't find proper adjectives. She had to use the same adjectives again and again for their sex scenes. And so I would. Now, hold it. We got a female perspective. Did you happen to read any of the 50 Shades of Grey or see the movies?
I've actually watched all and read them all.
You did read. Now, what did you actually think of her writing from a female perspective about even the storyline or about the instances they were intimate?
I don't know. I like the love story though, because I'm the cheesy person, so I really like the ending. I loved it. Like if it ended any other way, I would have been so mad.
Yeah, I would think my wife would agree with that part of it because she likes romance novels. She thought that was awesome, especially the end, probably.
Now, did you start to recognize the fact there's a little bit of repetitiveness of the intimate moments, of the similar adjectives and format or anything, or did you not see that? Or
okay, I don't think that deep into it, but I thought they were pretty good books, and I don't know, they were good. I didn't hate them, but I think the books are way better than movies.
Oh, always. I mean, you can never get to. Now, my next question for you is: have whips ever been involved?
What?
Oh.
Sorry, I'm not going to bring that
up. The barmaiden's actually this lady's
Have you been
dad,
to Cirillo's lately?
All right. I think we're done here. That's good.
Now, let's look from a younger male's perspective. Did you ever read any of the 50 Shades books, or did you happen to have to sit through the movies?
Don't admit it.
Absolutely not.
You didn't see any of them?
Actually, I did watch the first one in Texas, and I thought it was horrible.
I would
it had nothing to do with I thought it was going to be like a porno, you know?
Yeah.
It had nothing. It was not even close to that.
I love it.
I was like, how do girls like this stuff?
That's awesome.
I was kind of excited to watch it, but I was like, it was a huge letdown, very underwhelming.
Yeah.
And actually, because I read the books, I actually tried to watch it.
I thought you were going to try S&M. I don't know.
Tried.
You submissive or you dominant? I don't know.
No, unfortunately, I used a pirated website where you could watch it for free. But I think it was out of Japan, and Japan pixels out everything, so they totally. Even I don't want to admit this, but they pixel out things on the not so nice stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But in the movie, they actually cut out that stuff, so you didn't even see any of that.
I'm surprised because I thought, from what I know of Japan, I thought they were pretty liberal with their sexual.
They are,
the
but
fetishes.
For some reason,
maybe
am I talking about this?
They have vending machines where they sell used panties.
I've heard
in Tokyo.
That. I know.
How are we getting on this? I don't know. It's his fault.
Damn it.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
All right, let's go back. Let's do more of a recap on a few things.
There we go. Back to that.
I'll tell you what. Let's go back to Longmire for a second. I don't know if you ever really watched Longmire.
I watched 3 or 4 seasons.
When it was on AMC?
I didn't finish yet.
It was on AMC, and Netflix actually picked it up and did seasons 4 and 5. Robert Taylor plays an old school sheriff. But, counties back there are huge out in Montana.
Oh, yeah.
And so they have to cover a lot of ground. But unfortunately, like every episode, like Murder, She Wrote, somebody dies. It's not good. But it is kind of cool to bring in the Indian Nation that is out there. And Lou Diamond Phillips runs the bar in town.
Does a good job in that
He does a pretty
show.
good job. And then to bring in the sci-fi people of all people, Katie Sackhoff, who did Battlestar Galactica and a few other sci-fi stuff. And she's also in it playing one of the deputies. Excuse me. That's that Irish stout. But Katie Sackhoff comes in there as well, and she comes in from Philadelphia and plays a little bit of the true police detective type stuff. And so I really like it because he uses old school. He doesn't use the high-tech CSI type stuff. And so it's kind of a throwback there. Have you seen Turn, Washington Spies at all on the AMC series?
I watched part of the first season and didn't finish it. I thought it was a tad bit slow, but I think I was watching other things with it. But I don't know why I wouldn't like it because it looks like something I would really enjoy.
You being your political background and your social studies a little bit there and your geography.
It looks
geography,
cool.
It's done. Jamie Bell is the lead actor. He's the lead spy, and then it's got Seth Rumrick and Heather Lynn. Some not real big names or anything, but I think it's got some really good. I finished the first season, and I have it on my Netflix queue to hop in because it is in its final season on FX. Actually, for
how many
AMC.
seasons total?
It's in its 5th season right now.
Jeez.
Yeah. But it's its finale season, so they're wrapping it up.
And why I like to do what's streaming, 1, 2, whatever. We may do this for years, but he usually, like the Peaky Blinders, hint. Him saying Turn's really good. I mean, I'm probably going to try it again. I mean, Doug's done a good job getting me to want to watch some of this stuff because I didn't like English accents. I wasn't thinking I'm not going to watch Peaky Blinders. Watched it, loved it. Those actors are great. Maybe
subtitles is a good recommendation, I might add, because you miss a lot.
And I like subtitles.
I do too.
Sometimes I think it detracts from some of it, but it really helps to get what you really need from it to pay attention to it. And
I'm a visual learner, actually. If I see it in written words, I remember it longer than I do if I hear it. I'm not an auditory learner at all. At all. Tell me something, I don't hear you.
Yeah. I like auditory learning, but when I'm watching a show and I think there's a lot of detail to it, I like having the subtitles to make sure I catch everything.
Especially people's names.
Yes.
Especially people's names to keep track of the story there. Also recapping, we talked a little bit about Elementary. Johnny Miller plays a British accent, but he's one of the few people that is an American playing a British accent. It's usually a British playing an American accent, so I really like the fact that. And Lucy Liu is on in there with him. And Aidan
what show
Quinn,
did you say?
Elementary on CBS.
Elementary on CBS.
Yeah. Legit, we talked about Jim Jeffries. His whole show was actually based on a story he told, and I'm not going to get into that because we've already talked a little bit about that. But that show actually I cannot think of the muscular dystrophy, the people that, let's see, his name was, It's one of the few names I didn't write down for legit, the little scrawny dude that's in the wheelchair playing a muscular dystrophy. But they were really worried that the muscular dystrophy community was going to hate the show. They absolutely loved it because it showed that he was normal. He had a mind. It was just that his body didn't cooperate. And so
that's awesome.
Cool.
That's where PC actually doesn't ruin things. I mean, actually, the people appreciate the exposure of what kind of life those people live. So it's awesome.
We talked a little bit about Walking Dead with Andrew Lincoln, Norman Reedus, and Stephen Yeun. Norman Reedus, I can't think of his name on the show for Walking Dead. He's the one that shot the bow and arrow all the time.
Yes, yes, I love. That's my favorite character in that
he's a
show.
Great character,
and I have not seen the last season.
I have not,
and I
either.
want to. And The only thing I like about The Walking Dead, I really like the character building and the development of the characters. I don't really like the premise of it, but I love the show just because of the character development. I love it.
And have you ever watched Talking Dead afterwards?
Yeah, I like
okay.
it's awesome.
That actually makes me appreciate it more because they have new killings every week.
It's awesome.
They strive to come up with new ways to kill the zombies.
Yeah.
It's awesome. The special effects and the makeup work is just unreal. It is unreal. So we also had Gotham. Ben McKenzie plays Commissioner Jim Gordon before he was commissioner. I saw the previews for this, and I wasn't big on it at first. But my nephew said, you got to watch it. And so I took it. Yeah. I binge-watched it the whole season.
So you're not much of a superhero TV show guy.
You big, but, some of them are just kind of cheesy. Some of the ones that are on CW and stuff, they're just kind of weak. But Gotham is actually on Fox. They got 3 seasons of it.
Yeah.
They got 3 seasons of it. I've seen 2 of them. And both of them I finished in 2 or 3 days because I'm pathetic and have no kids, fortunately. But Jada Pinkett Smith in it, and Daniel Log, and Cameron Morgan. He plays a young Joker. So it's kind of like everything before he became commissioner. It was the beginning and the build-up of all the criminals in Gotham City. I think it's done really well.
Awesome.
Have you watched Gotham? Have you watched Gotham at all? You watch Gotham?
I've seen an episode. I didn't care for it.
You didn't watch the first episode then? All right.
Hey, my daughter came to the Ted Bad Brewery.
Get her a beer.
Brian Shortridge, Allie.
No last names.
Brian.
No last names.
Brian
No
Shortridge,
last names.
everybody.
No last names. I keep trying to tell him.
Sorry.
Whose podcast is this?
I don't know. It sounds like yours, but it's going really well. I hope it makes me some money. So listen to the spots that are 30 seconds at the beginning of it. Sorry. I like doing my own spots, but whatever. Oh, it looks like Gotham here. I recognized that feller before. Looks like Ben McKenzie, Donald.
Ben McKenzie's the guy in the middle, the main character.
Jada Pinkett Smith, like he said, and looks like a really dark but pretty cool drama.
Cameron Morgan is the one that plays the Joker there. Is also in Shameless.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Awesome.
He's in the background, maybe.
Cool. Yeah.
All right. Also, Blacklist on NBC. It's been in its 4th season. I think I've seen 3.5 or 2.5.
Yeah, I heard Blacklist is awesome. I've never seen any of it.
James Spader just has a way about him. He's an ass that I like. He's personal friend of John F. Kennedy Jr. Is he really? I just got informed. Personal friend of John F. Kennedy Jr.
Cool.
So maybe we should talk with a. I said chowder.
Chowder. But James Spader, Megan Boone, and Diego Klatanov.
Ryan Eggold is another one that's on there, too.
Okay, cool.
Matter of fact, I actually have a personal connection with Blacklist, believe it or not.
How?
Thank you for asking. A buddy of mine from a place I used to work during the summers, and he and I hung out all the time. We had Scooby snacks together.
What the heck?
But he has been, for years, a chauffeur limousine driver in New York City and has recently started getting into background acting. And there's a scene,
awesome.
The first time I ever saw him, there was a scene where I think it was Russians that abducted somebody, and they were focused on the driver, and he was looking in the rearview mirror, and all of a sudden you look from the rearview mirror standard, and you see the kidnapped guy in the back, and one of the 2 guys in the background is my buddy Dan.
That's awesome.
My buddy Dan is
I would love.
I went nuts when I saw him on live.
That would be awesome.
He's been on there 2 more times, and he's actually been shooting a new series where he's kind of like an assassin.
Yeah.
Because he shaved his head, and he does look mean all the time.
The lucky duck.
The man Dan.
That's awesome.
Dan the man is what we used to call him and give him a hard time.
Awesome. That's cool.
He always talk like this. Everything is dramatic. And so it's kind of fitting for him.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So I have a little connection there with Blacklist.
Cool. Did you ever like Orange Is the New Black? I watched it for 2 seasons. I couldn't do anymore.
I actually started the first the third season.
Yeah.
And that was one I was going to bring up. But the 3rd season was actually a little different. they would follow one person rather than going back and forth between stories. They would follow one person through a whole episode.
Yeah.
And then it was like the 5th or 6th episode of the 3rd season, they started to bring it all back together, but they kind of lost me.
Yeah,
I know it's in 5
I started
seasons
the
now.
3rd season.